Hello and welcome to ADTU Unplugged, a podcast series where conversations go beyond classrooms. I'm your host Neha, and in today's episode, we are going to discuss the most critical and fast moving domains of our time, that is, cybersecurity and forensics. And to talk about it, we have with us our guest, Dr. Prashant Dhotre. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, sir, why don't we start with the first question, that is, how the BTech in cybersecurity and forensics is different from CSE, other CSE programs?
That's a good question. At the outset, I'd like to say that BTech Computer Science and Engineering is focusing on fundamentals, more or less programming concepts, then the architecture of software development lifecycle and applications. However, the cybersecurity is predominantly being used now in every domain or a sector. To understand this difference, let me give a simple example as say BTech CSE is like building or constructing a building, whereas computer science and engineering with specialization in CSF, that is cybersecurity and forensic, is giving a value to that building in terms of protection by putting some alarm systems as well as reinforcement locks. So this is something which makes your building more secure and protected.
Well, your answer definitely gives depth and relevance to this domain. However, I would like to understand that specializing in such a domain this early, is it going to affect students' journey, career progression in any manner?
I think a lot of students and parents ask this question. So my answer is very simple, because in movies and say web series, we see a particular person who is a cybersecurity expert in a dark room wearing a black hoodie and doing something on a computer, and within few seconds he cracked the system. But this is not so easy as we see in movies. Actually, it's about educating the people that keeping your password 123 is not the right security strategy. So from the awareness to creating security solutions, providing the solutions, understanding the entire landscape of the threats. So I believe the opportunity is not narrowed, it has widened in my way, because everything that you see now is data driven. Everything that you see in nowadays is application oriented or app based. So wherever we do any kind of things as a layman, he is using smartphone and wireless devices. So thing is that in every aspect, wherever there is a data, there will be a crime, and wherever there is a crime, we need cybersecurity experts. And that's the reason currently I see that there is a shortage of global talent in security domain. So the future is all about cybersecurity, I see.
Well, that's quite reassuring that students should not be worrying about the limited career options. That
Right.
is what you're trying
Absolutely.
to say. Well, thank you. So, also let us understand that this topic is changing every day. So, how you are developing a curriculum on a subject which is changing daily?
Right. So we do a lot of requirement analysis in terms of curriculum. So we talk to industry people, academicians, central university, or government officials. So we believe at MIT-ADT University that the agile framework is quite necessary, which has a formula of 70 and 30%. Because over a period of say 22 years of my experience, I believe that the fundamental never changes. So 70% of your fundamental core subjects, programming and the applications remain same. What has changed is nothing but different kind of threats, different kind of tools which are coming in the market. So those 30% need to be understood by the course designer or the board of study members, wherein they can focus on the latest things and latest technologies. So if we keep in mind 70 plus 30 combination rule, I think we can cope up with this fast changing advancement or the curriculum updates.
So thank you, sir. That really shows the adaptability and the continuous learning curve of this field. But I'm more concerned to know that are our graduates really ready for today's corporate threats?
Yeah, that's the big challenge that we also face. But thanks for asking this question. Uh, for bridging that gap, definitely we want to uh, take the help from the industries, where we want to onboard them as the industry mentors. Similarly, we want to have different kind of problem-based learning, adaptability starting from say year one. We also think about to not only focuses on only people projects but also hackathons, then different symposiums at be at national level or international level, wherein on a platform we can have all kind of people where they can integrate, understand, communicate and coordinate such kind of things, where it will be easy to go ahead with the flow as well as the industry demands.
Well, that's quite a crucial insight. But this also gives a real challenge to the world, to the graduates, those who are coming in to
Yeah.
this particular field. And I'm sure that the designed curriculum is quite acquainted for the students. And I would also like to understand that how the implementation of artificial intelligence is shaping the landscape of today's curriculum.
Yeah. So artificial intelligence, I would say it is a two-sided sword. On one side, it is helping the people, whereas from the threat actors, they are using the AI to generate the attacks also. So it is a kind of battle between algorithm versus algorithm. The one algorithm that we do is to protect the systems. The other side, the attackers, they use the AI to create or generate the attacks. So I think it is a time to do a handshake with the AI and utilize them to protect our systems by creating algorithms and solutions. Something like zero trust architecture, or something which is very complex like uh, the system which is completely based on the IoT, or cracking those systems which are blockchain based. So I believe the developers, the security solutions, they need to use the AI effectively.
Well, it's quite fascinating to know that how AI is both an opportunity and a challenge in the field of cybersecurity.
Yes.
So, what type of symposium and conferences do you design for the students in this particular domain?
So as I said just earlier, that AI and cybersecurity are the future, wherein we think the National Symposium on Artificial Intelligence and Cybersecurity, Digital Forensic, definitely help the students or the learners to understand the entire landscape of threats. Similarly, the different solutions and the tools which are coming from the industries. At the same time, what is happening at international level, it is also visible when you interact with the people at such a great platform. So national symposium, conferences, workshops, these are the elements which will, I believe, they are learning curve apart from the classroom teaching and learning.
Thank you so much, sir. See, this is a very niche domain, I must say. And it is important for our viewers, for the parents, for the students to understand that what type of mindset one must have before enrolling for such a niche course.
One thing is very important for a learner is keep on reading,
Okay.
which is something I believe missed post pandemic to at a certain extent, where everything is online. So the textbooks and the important journals, one has to read it. Second thing is do not lose your creativity and curiosity. I think these are the two things where everyone will try to understand and eager to deep dive into the domain of cybersecurity as well as artificial intelligence. So I think these two things are very important.
Yes. And what final piece of advice you would like to give our students considering those who are considering this path?
I think the cybersecurity and digital forensic is going to be the field where you have a lot of learnings, different situations where you will be tested. Further, there are a lot of opportunities from the central government as well as, say, state government as well as from the private sector. The opportunities are ample. The thing is, one has to uh, get acquainted with the situations, understand what the market is all about, and similarly, the one has to be very skilled in terms of cybersecurity and digital forensic both ways.
Well, that's a powerful piece of advice, sir. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. And with this, we can understand that how Dr. Prashant Dhotre has highlighted that this field of cybersecurity and forensic is not just a demanding field, but also students need to develop these skills oriented towards critical thinking, proactive approach, as well as their decision-making
Yeah.
skills. So thank you very much for being a part of ADTU Unplugged podcast series. And we shall meet you once again in a new episode with a new topic of discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you.